Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Red Sea podcast. And honestly, what a time to go live! I feel like the whole pizza meme with Donald Glover returning and saying his living room on fire with everything going on. But yeah, a lot to talk about today. Happy to be back, as usual. But first things first, I want to get the annoying stuff out of the way. As always, you can go down below. All the links you need are there if you're new. Like, subscribe, and all the good stuff. You can follow us on all the socials. We are on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we are on TikTok, we're even on Bluesky for some reason. I do plan on also making a Facebook soon for those of you that prefer that. And in regards to the rest of the links, there is one that's the most important right now, and that's the link right at the top of the description. And that's the link that will take you to the Football Content Awards. And the link will take you there because we are up for a nomination. You can nominate us for a specific category, and that category is Best Podcast International. You got us right there last year for those of you that were here, but we just missed the finals. I do truly believe that we have a big chance to make the finals this year. So do go check that out. And the last thing is that once again, the show is open lines, technically. For those of you that want to join me, share your thoughts live with me. You don't have to have a camera or nothing, just a working microphone. Copy this link on Google and join the show. Enough with all that. Enough with the promo annoyance. I say let's get into talking because there is quite a bit to talk about. And I do want to take this kind of chronologically. So we're starting with this month. It was kind of common knowledge that Jota Silva would be announced by Olympiacos. It was a late announcement due to some minor details with the signing. Nothing else really prevented it. It's a loan deal. It's a one-season loan deal with a buyout option. And it's a deal that certainly divided the fan base because that's a rare occurrence, but that's a whole different chat. The point is that we have a great player in our family. And hear me out. I am concerned as well because Jota Silva, I'm not concerned because he came from Nottingham. That doesn't really matter if the player is good in my eyes. I've said that before, I'll say it again. But I am concerned that the man had a very bad time last season out on loan in Turkey. And I do fully understand the point of view that, yeah, he's just another loan deal that will pass through the club and do nothing. But Jota Silva, for me at least, has one big positive to him. Aside from all his football talents, he is that medieval hindrance of a player. He helps a lot pressing. He helps a lot on the attack. He will fit the plan perfectly, I'm sure. And as long as the two parameters of him wanting to be here and wanting to help the club succeed and not just seeing us as a stepping stone and him staying healthy, I have a very, very good feeling about this one the more that I look into it. He does look like a skinnier Jack Grealish. It's the haircut. It's the very uncommon haircut. Jota Silva, of course, will start training tomorrow or the next day. I don't know if the team has a day off because of the trip. I wouldn't think so, but it's the same point either way. Jota Silva will start training with the team here in Greece because of, for those of you that don't know, Olympiacos, if everything went to planning, just departed from the Netherlands to come back as stage one of pre-season has been completed and stage two is very close, but we will be going to stage two with a fully integrated Jota Silva and hopefully a few more people with a lot of names going around, a very familiar name, still not quite a fully done deal, and the just very loud need for Olympiacos to add some quality to his game. But to go on a more general note and to talk about some stuff, today Olympiacos finished off stage one of preseason, as we said, with the second friendly against the team I still don't know how to pronounce, so I'll just call them OHL because I don't know how to pronounce this name. And in that friendly, the final score was 1-1 with the scorer kind of ironically being Andre Luiz. Before I get into the friendly, before I get into the 11 and how the game went, I want to kind of not necessarily advise you all. I want to ask one thing from you all. And that one thing that I want to ask is to not go bananas over two friendlies. Okay? I brought up a few points on socials, but I will bring them up here as well. The friendlies, on a general perspective, are just for the coaches. The fact that we can get a taste of Olympiacos football early is nothing more than a pleasure on our end. The friendlies are for the coaches to try out 11s that they won't try mid-season, to try out plans that they won't try mid-season, to see individual performances. The friendlies aren't for us to play our best football, nor are they for us to dominate. Okay, we drew. So, we won against Rakov. It's a chance to get to see some first impressions, and it's a chance to figure out how the squad is going to be within the season. May I take you back to a year ago, where even here on the show, we were talking about how amazing this team looks on paper, how great the depth is, how amazing of a player Strefetsa is, how much impact some people would have. And the year ended with us winning nothing major. We won a Super Cup. That's that. And we were killing it in preseason. We looked deadly in preseason. And now we're not even halfway through preseason. We played 2 friendlies and people are already writing the year off. Why? In what universe are we going to see, for example, when are we going to see a trio of Yorgos Masouras, Kostas Fortounis and Rodinei play behind Clayton within the season? To take it back to the first friendly, when are we going to see a midfield consisting of Fanis Bakoulas, Christos Philis, and Santiago Ese within the season? We're not going to see stuff like that. These games are for the coach to know who needs to be here and who doesn't, where we need to be reinforced and where we don't. We all agree that Olympiacos needs quality players. Yes, we do. But we can't go ahead writing off the year. Come on. But going into said 11 and some opinion, of course, Tzolakis got his first taste of Olympiacos football for this season with Ortega, Carmo, the ever-impressive Koutsidis, and Siosios being the backline, Ese, Scipioni, and Fortounis being the midfield, Rodinei, Masouras down the wings, and Clayton, who played 7 minutes. We'll get into the injuries as well, but I do want to start by saying that once again, yes, exactly what I was going to say. Isidoros Koutsidis. Take a dumb bow. What a player. He looks very ready. I mean, we've seen the man before. He's played with the A team, he's had a preseason, he's played with the B team, but he looks more ready than ever. He looks more controlled than ever. And he looks more certain than ever. Him and Carmo, and again, this is no disrespect to David Carmo, he needs games. Koutsidis look better in the first. And David Carmo here. We're talking about someone who's probably going to be one of the best defenders, if not in the best duo of defenders through the season. And Koutsidis stood side by side with him and he didn't skip a bit. I'm very, very impressed. And I think Mendes as well. And I do genuinely think that he's going to have a role this season. I do believe that he'll play a part. He's our own Van Dijk. I agree. Our own version of Virgil van Dijk. I do want to give my props to this man as well. Lolo Scipioni. A man that didn't have a lot of chances last season, got injured when he was just picking it up. He got injured, but he is back right where he left off. He is back seemingly better than ever. And we are talking about a player that plays in a position where we need fresh legs, we need youth, we need aggression and passion, which he has. And we've been saying this since last season, but him getting starting positions twice in the first two friendlies, it really makes me feel like Lorenzo Scipioni will be a regular piece of this season's puzzle. I do truly believe it. Scipioni should get plenty of opportunities this season. He deserves it. He has deserved it since last season, but he looks even more ready this season. He looks like way less of a card threat. His tacklings look much better, honestly. And maybe, I don't want to say too much, but maybe he plays the role of Danny Garcia and Danny steps back. He would certainly deserve it. Another performance I do want to point out is Maffeo. Pablo Maffeo coming into the second half, of course, a lot of changes through the game due to injuries as well. Sturnaras coming in at the 46th, so did Bruno, so did Pirola, so did Smailovic, so did Maffeo, so did Philly, so did Danny Garcia, who immediately got subbed out because of an injury. We hope he's well. To Lorenzo Scipioni once again. So did Andre Luiz, so did Zelson, so did Chiquinho. And as Yaremchuk came in on the 7th minute, Masuras came back on the 73rd. But as I was about to say, Pablo Maffeo has now gotten 2 halves of football and he's looked very good. He's looked very solid. He's looked very sure of himself. He got a bit feisty today, which is perhaps the first taste of what we're going to say from Pablo Maffeo this season. Because when we first talked about the move, we did talk about how he's a bit of a rowdy player, to say the least. But certainly, Pablo Maffeo is a deserving starter, and I'm very, very positive. I am even more positive than I was when he first came in, seeing him get a regular and serious minutes under his feet. Of course, Fortounis was also Fortounis. No need to say anything there. Lorenzo Pirola scares me because I don't want him to go. He once again came in and you knew immediately that he would outshine everybody. He's an absolute rock defensively. And honestly, there's not that much to talk about as there was in the first friendly. Danny Garcia means as much to Jose Luis Mendilibar as Mohamed Salah means to Jurgen Klopp. I mean, you're not even wrong. You're not wrong. God, I hope Dan is okay. I really do. But yeah, there's not that much to talk about in this friendly. Olympiacos looked better. Certainly, Olympiacos looked better, more controlled. But we slipped. We slipped up on a few chances. Yaremchuk missed a massive chance from close range around the 71st minute. And by the time we get to the next friendly, I'm sure the team will look different and much, much better. Now, transfers, moves, and all the chaos, honestly. I'll start with the most recent news that Andre Luis is on his way out. It's more of a certainty by now that if Andre Luis continues to perform in preseason, he will be sold. The only official public offer is the one of Sporting Kansas City, and that offer stands around the insane amount of 18 to 19 million, which is unbelievable money, to be fair. Porto are also interested. Wolves are also interested. I don't know where Andre Luis will end up, but it really looks like he will be sold this summer. I do want your opinion down in the comments. I am okay with him going. I am more seeing it as a win-win for both parties, especially if we're talking prices around 19 million. And it will help us a lot get even stronger in places we need. I do want your opinion, and of course, this isn't any disrespect to Andre Luis, but offers like that are sometimes undeniable, aren't they? I really, really feel like they are. Gelson Martins missed two big chances. Big. The only Gelson chance that I would really consider big, I don't think that the corner one was anything insane, but the only Gelson chance that I would consider big was the shot that got saved, which isn't really his fault necessarily. That was an insane save. And speaking of insane saves, just a shout to Dimitris Tournaras. What a save from basically a centimeter out, just a reaction save following the insane save of Kostadis Tzolakis in the first half. This one was full of goalkeeper highlights, to be fair, now that I think about it. Insane stuff from both of our boys. But getting back to it, Olympiacos need people. We need a lot of people to come in. People will be on the out as well, of course. The name that all of us want to see come to Olympiacos, I think, is Petar Stanic. Petar Stanic is the only transfer I've seen lately that has 3 updates per day I'm still very positive that, I'm getting to that. What is going on with Stanic and Joel Roca? God, I've been answering this question for the past 4 so. Stanic, I'm still very positive. I hope I don't die on this hill, but I'm still very positive that Petar Stanic will be an Olympiacos player before stage 2 or during stage 2 of pre-season. The latest update is that we ran into some managerial issues, and this time not with the side of Ludogorets, but I don't think it's something that can't be seen through. I don't think we're talking about anything insane. I don't think it's anything insane. But we do have to wait and see. I have said for a while, I have posted for a while that I do think Petar Stanic will be an Olympiacos player, and I am saying this as well. And another positive, even though sometimes that doesn't really play a part, but another positive in the case of Petar Stanic is the fact that Ludogorets did buy a player from Botafogo today that is very similar to Petar Stanic, and in addition to him not playing in the last 2 friendlies, not even being on the bench in the last 2 friendlies, I think we're finally getting it. Now, in regards to Joel Roca, I don't think we've reached an agreement with Girona yet. I think it's still in discussions, and unlike Petar Stanic, I'm getting less and less positive about Joel Roca. I don't think it had anything to do with it, but especially with the acquisition of Jota Silva, I think that Olympiacos may move on from the case of Joel Roca, but we'll see. We are treating both cases with utter seriousness. I am especially liking how we're treating the Petar Stanic case, because if it was any other player, we would have given up a while ago. But we are pursuing a great player, a player full of hard work and talent, and we're doing it until the end. And I am very, very happy for that. I truly am very happy for that. I sounded like Jose Mourinho. I don't know why, but I am truly, truly very happy for that. We'll see. Honestly, we will see. And now I think that's about it. Football. And let's move in to this chaos. Olympiacos, the European champions, the Greek champions, have been going through drama, to say the least. Of course, for the last few shows, we've discussed about the cases of Kostas Papanikolaou, Tyler Dorsey, and Thomas Walkup. A lot has changed in the past 3 days, and we have official and almost official news in these cases. First, things first. Our captain, Kostas Papanikolaou, will stay with the team for the next 2 years, as we've told you for a while now. It was never the money, as it is public now. It was never the cash. It was just the years. Originally, the difference was that Olympiacos was offering a 1-year contract to Kostas Papanikolaou, and he wanted 2. Well, as simple as it has to be with your captain, your one irreplaceable captain, Olympiacos offered Kostas Papanikolaou a 2-year contract, and that was that. Renewed, announced, and leading Olympiacos towards such a wonderful chapter. Now with the other two. I'll go into the less chaotic one first and talk about Tyler Dorsey, a case that I am so happy is being handled behind closed doors. Tyler Dorsey and Olympiacos seem to be getting closer and closer to a renewal. Disagreements happen. Cases take long. But I think this is the first time where I can confidently say that I'm positive about Tyler Dorsey. Of course, Tyler has some offers that haven't gone public. Tyler has some offers that have gone public. But in the end, of course, he will fulfill his +1 deal with Olympiacos either way. But I am very, very positive that Tyler Dorsey will be at Olympiacos for many, many more years. Now, take a seat, take your popcorn, take everything in between, whether you're listening, watching, or anything, and let's talk about Thomas Walker. I didn't expect it to get this bad, even though as soon as the Eurohoops interview happened, I had the feeling that we were entering a spiral. I'm not gonna talk about prices. I'm not gonna talk about offers because I feel like that's not important now. Olympiacos has given Thomas Walkup the final offer that we will, I'm pretty sure, and we've given him the weekend. If Thomas Walkup does not respond in the next few days, not necessarily the weekend, he will, as is very public now, before sale. I don't see this really going back. I don't see this turning around, however you want to say it. I don't think that Thomas Walkup will back down from wanting to go to Dubai. But now the difference with this entire case is that we have the final word. Thomas Walkup has a contract next season. He has a renewable option of +1 on the team side. And Olympiacos are not going to accept anything less than 3 million. Now, this is more of an intuition than it is info, and I have seen this comment. I think there is a chance that Olympiacos will throw a player into discussion. Of course, for those of you that follow Mike Stefano, which again, this man is the most reliable reporter of the basketball side of Olympiacos that you can ever hope for. He did leave a comment responding to someone talking about Mamadi Diakite. Mamadi Diakite, of course, is a player that was playing for Besiktas. Not for Besiktas, I'm sorry, for Baskonia. But he's been very involved. I don't know if he's been announced by them. Let me actually check that out. Yeah, he will sign with Dubai if he hasn't already. And with, of course, the comment from Mike Stefano, word started going around. And I do think that with everyone that DC Dubai is gathering, quote unquote, at the fore, Olympiacos would think about bringing a player into the Thomas Walkup discussion if we get to the point where Thomas Walkup would be for sale. Now there's two opinions going around. There's the opinion that we can't sell Thomas Walkup because of the passport issue. And then there's the opinion that there's no point in keeping a player that doesn't want to be here. I'm going to be very honest with all of you and say that I'm standing on the second opinion. There's no point in keeping a player here that pushes to go away. Okay, yeah, we can let him out of action for a while or have him play a limited role and then let him walk, which would, of course, help us with the passport. But we are talking about a player that is in his mid to late 30s now. And Olympiacos would have to think about the life after Thomas Walkup either way. And I do confidently think that if the right money or the right offer, including a player or not, comes in for Thomas Walkup, the team would survive. Of course, we wouldn't have a singular problem basketball-wise because of Corey Joseph. But passport-wise, there is a whole different conversation. I am just of the opinion that trusting a young player isn't insane. Like, I'm sorry, but we won't lose the league if Thomas Walkup walks, if we sell him. That all being said, I am not going to take away anything that Thomas Walkup has given to this team in the past 5 years. I'm not going to take away anything that Thomas Walkup has helped this team achieve in the past 5 years. But sadly, everyone lives in their own way. And if Thomas wants to leave, being remembered in a way worse way than he deserves, that's up to him. And Olympiacos will find a solution to any problem one way or another. That's what I want to say in regards to Thomas for now. I do hope something changes, and I do hope Thomas Walkup renews with Olympiacos, but I don't think it's worth going nuclear over. And I am keeping the positive stance on Tyler Dorsey. In regards to this comment, I mentioned the name that I would think may be considered, especially after what was mentioned over on Twitter. But we definitely are looking for the replacement of Alec Peters. Whether we go for a player that can step on the 3 and the 4, or we go for a twinner on the 4-5 and get an out-and-out 3, I do not know. I don't know if Olympiacos will move for 1 or 2 players. My intuition says 2, but depending on who comes, I wouldn't be mad with 1. But I will keep you all updated as time goes on, of course. Before we move to the Erasitechni and close up, I do want to give a thank you to a player that Basketball and Life did very dirty, honestly. There's no other way to put it. And that, of course, is Keenan Evans. Keenan Evans, who officially has departed from Olympiacos, playing minimal time. And I do kind of want to quote a tweet I saw from a friend of the show that said that sports can give you feelings nothing else can, whether that's positive or negative. And that night against Zalgiris, even remembering it gives me just the worst chills ever. I don't think I've seen the air being sucked out of a stadium so fast before. I don't think I've seen the air just disappear from everyone's lungs so fast. And not just in the stadium, everyone watching from home as well. And I think that that will probably be one of the most intense basketball memories, sadly on the bad side, that everyone will have for a while. But the only thing that I, and speaking for everyone at Olympiacos, can wish Keenan Evans is for him to just get back to doing what he loves. Because he deserves it. He's been done super dirty. Super dirty. And we all truly wish him the best. Now, let's get into some positive stuff, shall we? Let's get into the Erasitechni announcements that we've seen ever since last show. And of course, I want to start with the one and the only Dulce Fancam. Dulce Fancam. I really need to learn how to pronounce her first name. The Cameroonian international forward that has already made her name many years now. Of course, a high traffic in the WNBA. And last year with Crvena Zvezda, she was the top rebounder in the Eurocup, in the Women's Eurocup, with the insane number of 11 rebounds per game, which is unbelievable. And adding to that, of course, she had 88 total rebounds, with 49 of them being offensive, 39 of them being defensive rebounds, and she averaged also 15.6 points and 1.6 assists. We are talking about a player that averaged a double-double last season with the best team in Serbia. What an addition. What an addition. What an addition to be very excited for. And an addition to a whole new team. Our WBC, our women's basketball team, is aiming very high this season, is aiming to keep up with Athinaikos. I think that we're already better than Panathinaikos. And Athinaikos is a budget issue. But I do believe, with all the love to the girls that represented us last year, I do believe that this season will be unfathomably better. And I am very intrigued to see what happens with our coach, our new coach. I am very, very, very intrigued about our women's basketball team this season. And someone else I want to talk about, I guess another department that I want to talk about is our women's volleyball department. And it's the trust in the academy, it's the trust in the youth, it's the trust in the future. As Olympiacos announced, not only two of the best talents in the world, but a very, very deserved promotion of 17-year-old setter Vasiliki Zafiriou, getting promoted from the academy, signing her first professional contract. And as I mentioned, in addition, we signed Dorothea Karaguti, the 16-year-old insane outside hitter, standing at 1.92 centimeters. She is the captain of the under 16 national team, and this year she was MVP of the under-16 nationals. Along with her, immediately almost, came the announcement of Anastasia Galou, the middle blocker, standing at 1.87 centimeters. Along with Dorothea Karagoutis, she is a massive piece to our academy in the national team and gets a much deserved role in Olympiacos, where she and Dorothea will play a part in both our academy and the first team. And honestly, as I am with a lot of the Erasitechni, I am anticipating next season so much. Going over to the men, now we added a vital piece to the puzzle. As I said over on Instagram, every piece has a perfect role for a puzzle to look perfect, and that includes Petros Anagnostou, the 26-year-old middle blocker that got officially announced for Olympiacos. And now, going over to handball, and perhaps an announcement that I am not the most, but very excited for, and one of my candidates for a surprise signing of the season, it's Mohamed Tarek, the 24-year-old Egyptian international pivot, comes in to start in this team. He has spent a lot of the past few years in Zamalek. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Please don't eat me alive. He has won with his former team one African Champions League, one African Super Cup, one African Cup Winners' Cup, two Egyptian league titles, and one cup. And to speak in plain, good old terms, the guy is a monster. He is an insane player that has stood a bit unlucky with injuries, but along with the rest of the players coming in, I'm telling you again, and you all can clip this, bookmark this, do whatever you wish. I think Olympiacos in the handball department will pull off their most historic year next season. Knock on wood. But I am quite confident in what I say. I believe in this team a lot. And to finish off, not just the Erasitechni, to finish off the show for today, as we are closing in on another hour, which I'm very happy, and I hope you all enjoyed the company. And I swear that on the next show, I will come back looking like a human and not like I haven't shaved in 3 years. The last player that I want to talk about is, of course, the former Alimos captain and the 2025 world champion with our national team, Maria Patra. The fact that our women's water polo department won the historic quadruple and got even better, and minus the addition, minus the departure of, sadly, Brit van Dobbelstein, Olympiacos picked up one of the biggest talents from Hungary and is getting the best that are from Greece. Kept Abby Andrews, kept the MVP. Is unbelievable. I don't know, I can't fathom, I can't describe the success that we'll see next season. And I'm not gonna go that much into it, but it's a bit of an if you know, you know. If people don't want to appreciate what Olympiacos has given them, and they believe that by denying Olympiacos, by lying to Olympiacos, they can go to direct opponents of Olympiacos and be, as a friend said, as a friend quoted, and as a wonderful person said, a very bad copy of Vasilis Spanoulis, and be more like Tzolakis than Spanoulis. Then they really shouldn't come running back crying after they have failed to change a club's history and lead them to greatness. Quote unquote, unquote, unquote. And that's where I leave that because we get into trouble. But yeah, that's about it for today. I appreciate the company from you all as always. We will keep doing this quite regularly. I am expecting a lot to happen today and tomorrow, the rest of the day, the rest of the night today and tomorrow. So we will be back. Knock on wood if everything's okay. We will be back on Monday. I'll leave you all with that. We will be back on Monday. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff below. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.